Now, while I normally despise with a seething, hearty distaste anything that comes out of Cocoon, please, and I mean please, don't let this be the end. Lucy, it's butterfly time. Before I end this review of chapter 316 of Black Clover, please do me a favor, leave your own notes on the chapter in the comment section down below, leave a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure to hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got a pencil here, and here we are to chapter 316 of Black Clover, which is known as the slash of the slash of the unchosen. I'm so sorry, I have no idea what I just did. And yeah, this chapter, despite being very few words, it's very nice. It's a very pretty chapter, I'll give it that. However, it actively concerns me. But let's hop right into the chapter itself. So we open up, we get to see that this young boy, Lucy, as I'm going to call him, because I don't know if I can say his name, I'm not going to test it. Lucy is manifesting. Like, all this that the Megazord has been doing, it's not been the most high. It's not been the most useful, unfortunately. And thusly, this man, he's about to spawn. He's about to pop on out. And we see that no one can really do anything about it except for someone who's standing a great distance away. And we see Asta flashing back to what he was told by the rest of his crew. Because he said, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe if Liebe and I, we can get the captains out of there without actually harming them, even though they're like the core of that boy manifesting right now. And here's the thing, no matter how much I may dislike some aspects of Black Clover, which is actually I'm trying to think if there's a dislike about Black Clover at the top of my dome, and there's not much, if anything at all. Like, nothing's popping in my head right now, but I know I have some distaste with the series. I do love the team dynamic, and I do love how much trust these people have for each other, because Asta isn't even 100% certain. He just says, if Liebe and I try, we might be able to get the captains out. And no matter what hesitation was in his tone, no matter what he wasn't confident about, his whole team, every last person there, from your Zoras to your Greys, all are like, we're counting on you. They all believe in him. And Langua stings out his hand and teleports Asta away. I just love that. That's the thing. I love group stories that actually have like this solid group trust and connection to them. There are very few out there that really like have a solid, like, chunky size group of people that will actually display this deep trust in each other, especially in one of their main people. And Black Clover has it with the Black Bulls, and I think that's amazing. Everyone believes in him. And we see that Asta is taking all that belief, all that motivation, and is channeling it into this next slash he's going to have. And notably, he has this little conversation with Liebe, right? Just to steel himself up even more. He's like, yo, we can cut something like that, right? And Liebe is instantly like, yes, we can. And we're going to do it right now. And I love how in a moment, these two, despite having honestly two entirely separated motivations that happen to just converge on this one point, they do just that. They converge on this one point. Asta is only caring about rescuing Yami right now. That's his captain, the person who took him in, who gave him a family, a place to call home outside his own orphanage, and he really, really appreciates that, and he's going to avenge him by saving him right here and now. Meanwhile, the exact same thing happened for Liebe, where he was brought in, taken care of by Liebe, given a place to call home outside of his old living realm in the underworld. He was given another chance. He was given someone to love and care for and protect. And both of these people who are trying to save or revenge the person they cared for are converging together. And of course, right when they need it, they aren't going to let Lucy into the world because the 30-minute time limit is up. And we see them manifest Devil Union. And this actually is interesting to me, because does this imply that... No, because he drew out different swords before. But notably, this Devil Union looks way different than the previous ones. Rather than having like a more solid, sharpish design, it's a lot more wavy, a lot more flowy. Like, he has like this skirt thing. Yeah, is that a... It's not necessarily a second tail. I think it's just a continuation of the skirt. But like, the bottom is a lot more torn up. He has this weird like ripped cape thing. I'm not complaining. It's a really, really cool design. And how Tabata Sensei managed to somehow like do the multiple shades of black, like, they fade into each other. I don't even know how to do, like, this man, he just has been killing it with the artwork, and this Devil Union is just proof positive of it, and I love the way it looks. And I think, yeah, I honestly prefer it more than the original Devil Union because it's so balanced. Like, with the skirt being there now, it's weird to call it a skirt, but still, with the skirt being there now, it like makes the whole thing flow together better. And I just love the way it looks. And he also still has the dark particles spawning around him. I wonder if he's able to do anything with those. Like, if he can, like, launch them out as antimatter projectiles. I don't think we've ever seen that, but I kind of want to see if he can do it. But, of course, we have something to cut. And we get this interesting point where, like, I know Devil Union is supposed to be, like, an absolute union between users. Like, obviously, the devil and the human is supposed to be, like, one unique consciousness. But I really wonder, like, if in this moment these two are like having the exact same thought process, because they literally say together, we on some Venom type, we weren't chosen by mana, and so we'll make our own choices, which is an interesting way to spin their whole lack of mana, their lack of magic, because in a way, by having any mana at all, you're sort of chosen by the world. You're given this role by the world. Even Julius himself, someone who was supposedly beyond the context of your average magician, your average mage, or something like that, your average wizard, he himself is portrayed as this last bastion of the world, because despite him having such a dominant magic and time magic, or magic so rare and so crazy that it takes literally light magic, the fastest magic, to even begin to even perceive of countering it, he was still chosen by the world. He was put there by the world because the world ended up guiding his fate. His path was the Wizard King, but of course it was a path put forward to him by the world. Meanwhile, the world essentially threw these two aside, so they are almost completely independent of anything the world has chosen for them, and thus they are able to affect it in this way. These two, who were born without no magic at all, managed to completely bisect the advent of the Demon King, essentially, who's about to spawn and destroy the entire world. And that is, it's a beautiful way to show how these two break fate, in a sense. Like, there's nothing that these two who were abandoned by the world can't do. And hey, if there's any way to prove that, it's slicing in half the Demon King. And notably, we get to see that, you know what, I love the name of this attack. Demon Slasher Infinite Slash Equinox. Ooh, I can't even spell Equinox even though it's right in front of me. EQREXYZ. Nah, I'm kidding. But still, it's a simple attack. Like, really, it is just, they raise their blade, they swing it down, and bada bing, bada boom. It's just a spire of anti-magic just goes burr and just straight through. But still, it's the beauty in the simplicity, and it's how much attention to detail that's about to put in the art. Like, seeing Asta standing there in Devil Union with his wings flaring up high into the sky, with his own cape blaring in the wind, holding that sharp, well-defined pose with all the variances in his own coloring. And you see the anti-magic slash just slicing directly through Lucy's manifestation, cleaving it in half so perfectly that's even like dividing at the point of where Lucy's mouth's manifestation is, as you see the gigantic megamorph super catalyst, whatever you want to call the Black Bull's hideout, just crumbling in the distance, while you see that it's like only the slash of anti-magic only tore through Lucy. Like, nothing else is damaged. The cliff he's standing on, the many trees that are in front of him, nothing else is cut apart. It is only what he wanted to have cut, which was Lucy. I think that's just a beautiful, amazingly composed shot. And like, this man's insane. He had 2 full on spreads back to back in the chapter. I know there are 2 pages in between. No, a single page in between. So yeah, this man's just insane. Tabata, you went nuts on this chapter. And I love how the Greedmore just floats there still. Like, I mean, yeah, things can fly with the anti-match, but that seems to be it. We see Lucy's manifestation just, like, literally fall completely apart. We see the Black Bull's hideout slowly falling apart, and we see all the people just reacting. Like, those who couldn't even hold their heads high enough before because they're being crushed by gravity magic are now free of those effects. They're lifting their heads up. They're watching in shock. I love Fugelion and Mereoleona's like completely individual reactions that fit their character so perfectly. Like, Fugelion is staring at this massive instance of destruction that just passed him by with absolutely no clue what just happened, considering he was in the middle of fighting that thing. And meanwhile, Mereoleona, who's hyped up on combat, is just has this insane grin on her face while she's still in her incarnate mode, and I think that's hilarious. And then we get to see Yami and William both just blip, like right out the middle. And notably, the interesting thing is that, like, despite the fact that they should be like in like the perspective of where they're falling from doesn't make sense unless they like fell out the front of Lucy's manifestation, because somehow they're visible to like the front of the Black Bull's construct hideout thing, but they should be somewhere. They were said to be in the middle. They were the cores of the manifestation, but somehow they're able to be falling forward towards the Black Bulls thing, even though they should still be trapped. Whatever. It's a cool shot. So I'll let it slide. Then we get to see. I love how Yami and Noct have this like moment of whoa, you're alive, and it's just like two looks. Like Yami looks at Noct, and Noct looks at Yami like, oh, well, it worked out. And we get to see what Asta declares. Demon Slasher chooses what to cut. It's a katana that doesn't cut what it wants to protect. And we see, obviously, well, we don't see, we know what he wanted to protect, which was Yami, and Yami is freed. And we get to see the two masters of Asta, both in their respective fields of like initial sword fighting and combat, and then of course Devil Union, both saying that they really did it this time, or Asta really did it this time. And that's where the chapter ends. It was a nice chapter. I mean, it was really one move, but the move has so much impact and so much narrative impact that it's kind of like it's worth the chapter wait. We waited all this time to see Devil Union. It popped up looking better than ever. We finally get to see Lucy getting taken out, I suppose, and I have mixed feelings on that because let's be real. Like, the King of the Devils was hyped up for so long, right? Like, insanely so. Like, I'm pretty sure we heard about this man hundreds of chapters ago at this point, but for him to be taken out before you can even fully manifest, I'm not like the biggest fan of that. I know it would have offed Yami and William, and like, you know, Yami's a real cool character and William's a nice dude, so I get why you wouldn't want to manifest him based on the criteria you set up, but like, could he like pop out anyway though? Like open up next chapter being like, we did it, Bomazimos, we did it, da 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 da. But and then like suddenly he just appears. He's like, oh, yeah. Fun fact: I used the rest of Morse's life force to accelerate the tree, right? So that didn't just mean the second gate; that meant the rest of the gates. So hate to tell you, but I'm already here. Now, let me show you something I like to call the presence of the Demon King. And then the gravity starts up again. Like, I don't know. I would greatly appreciate that, because for Devil Union to be, like, waiting this long and just pop up right here, right now, and only get the one slashing, especially when it looks this cool. I want to see this thing fight somebody, not just one-shot it. Like, straight up, I want to see what Devil Union can do in this new form. It's probably, like, the same as before, but still, I want to see more of it. And now that Yami's back, like, get him some healing real quick. Let Mimosa pop up and just, you know, hit him with a 1-2, let's go. And then you can have, like, a real Asta and Yami versus Lucy fight. Because technically, they already did fight Lucy through Dante. But they can actually fight the real Lucy now through, well, real Lucy. However, I don't know. That's the weird thing. Like, to be fair, I didn't expect it to go like this. I expected Yami to survive. Like, I didn't think Yami's gonna die in any way, shape, or form. I'll give you that. But I didn't think they were literally gonna stop him before he could pop out and really do his thing, because we've been building up to him for so long. So I'm still like, until I see like a time skip or something, I'm still gonna believe Lucy's gonna pop out, because this just seems a little bit too anticlimactic. I know everyone's super tired, everyone's super drained right now. Like Yuno's knocked out. Obviously, William and Yami definitely still aren't in top shape, and obviously the entire crew has just gone through a whole gauntlet of the Dark Triad and stuff like that. So no one's really in tip-top shape for a good battle against the Demon King. But at the same time, I feel like that was raise stakes. It would help us out a little bit. You know, I would appreciate the hustle. You know what I'm saying? Because I think him going out this way wouldn't be the worst, but it wouldn't be the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate all the buildup we've had to this point, so I would like if the buildup got, like, a worthy conclusion. You know, that's all I'm saying. Like, we had Zagreus. Zagreus was cool. He went on in a satisfying way. And while technically this is satisfying and it does complete both Lucy... I almost said both Lucy and Liebe. Well, it did very cleanly complete both Asta and Liebe's main goals of rescuing Yami and avenging Lucida by preventing Lucy from manifesting. And thusly, really, we don't need, narratively, we don't need a final battle against Lucy. My greed, though, says we do need a final battle against Lucy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's simple as that. And like, yo, question for y'all: Do y'all want Lucy to go out like this? Like, is this what we're rocking with? We're rocking with this like Megazord battle against big blob monster into single slash and we're done? We rocking with this? I don't know. I'm not rocking with it. I'm not gonna hold the chapter back. Like the chapter, like aside from my own personal biases and my own personal wants, the chapter itself is still fantastic. Like straight up, all the art in the chapter is literally just straight top tier. Like there's not a single bad panel in this chapter, and it's rare that I can say something like that. Like the art in this chapter, amazingly top tier. The execution of the final stories and final battle, well, if this is the final battle, like the execution of the slash are gorgeous. The entire culmination of what we've been waiting for, what both of our main, like I guess Liebe is a main character now, but like at least for our main protagonist and the guy who works directly with our main protagonist, they had their entire story resolved right here. Everything has wrapped up cleanly, nicely, beautifully, and we could end right here. I just want more. So the chapter is a 10 out of 10, regardless of what I want. However, if I could make one request about a sensei, slide me that manifestation. But overall, those are my thoughts on the chapter. Please tell me your thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Zago the Pencil, writing off.